What's up, guys? So I spent quite a bit of time cleaning up and I got my shop spotless, and that feels good. So now the work can resume. You gotta stop and clean things up, otherwise it just gets horrific. And if you saw my last video, it was like the worst I've ever let my garage get. But when you get into these projects, you get messy, you get dirty, it's all good, just clean up. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, gotta rip the front end of this thing off and see what's going on with this timing and cam not rotating. So could be really bad, or it could be an easy fix. So guys, how lucky do you think I am? Let's find out. We're gonna. All right guys, stay tuned. Trying to move backwards through this as fast as I can. I took the reservoir off. I got a new impact gun for my air compressor. It's been a little handier. I'm getting ready to take the water pump off. We're gonna get to this timing chain cover, figure out what's going on. Took me too long. I skipped ahead and didn't take the fan off, which I think is okay. So now, my daughter's in here coloring, which is super cute. We're gonna take this timing cover off. First I gotta get this thing off. Just gotta pull the pulley off now, and then I'm gonna pull that cover. So this little impact is not impressing me. I mean, it's just definitely not taking that crank bolt off, so I got a backup plan. Meet mother bar. Yeah, pry it in the puller to do that. I don't have one. And I'm cranking this over and my chain looks fine, but it's not turning the gear on the cam. So once he gets here, we'll pull this cover off, see what's going on. But that's weird. So I'm hoping something's off right here. That's what I'm hoping, because that's the easiest fix. Hey guys, so I got the replacement timing chain gasket, because I bought this once, but I get to do it again. Yeah! So excited. Yeah, it's not a big deal. And then I was gonna connect with my buddy Sam, and I didn't know, but good thought for you guys is my local auto parts store. I won't say which one because I'm not a marketing campaign for them. But they actually gave me the tool, and I say gave because I look at it as gave, but they gave me the flywheel pulley tool. And there's two different kinds. Errol, all the research I've done, make sure you got the right kind. This is the one I need. So there's one that will grab like hooks, and I'm sure there's a reason for that one, but from everything I've seen, that's not the one I want to use, so I'm using this. And this tool cost me 20 bucks, but if I bring it back within 90 days, seems pretty reasonable, they'll give me my money back. I'm gonna bring it back tomorrow. I just, and this is the kind of tool where I actually don't even care if I own it. I love tools. I tend to keep tools. I have a hard time getting rid of them, but this is one I could care less, because honestly, I had one of these floating in my garage for years, and it was only before I moved into here that I got rid of it, and I probably should have kept it, whatever, but I never used it. I used it one time when I pulled a pulley off. I never used it, so this is perfect. I'm gonna use it one time. If I need to go use it again, I can always go get it again, and I know we're only talking 20 bucks, but I thought that was pretty cool. So let's try it. So just pick your bolts that you need. They have different threads. The ones I need, and there's better lighting. So just got to really tighten these, and then when you tighten this, it basically just pulls it right off. So it should be a piece of cake. As you can see, it worked perfect. Just pulled the sucker right off. Moment of truth. Let's see what's going on. Really not understanding where I went wrong here. It's time to see if I have an obvious F up. So this pin is loose, which doesn't seem right. First glance, can't really tell if that pin is in or not. This pin, it's really hard to tell. I'm hoping that's the issue. Golly. No lie, I'm a little mad at Ghost. The sucker needs to run. These cars, man, they get you frustrated. They really do. So I'm staying persistent. I have to line the timing chain up again. It looks like the pin wasn't in the cam all the way, which caused it to stop turning. It looks like that's what it is. So I need to put this sucker back together, see if it'll turn. We're gonna try it. So last night I was pretty frustrated. So today, after stewing on it, but sleeping, get a break from it, I think I've discovered what I need to do to make this happen. So guys, if you have a project, just be patient. It's hard. For me, it's really hard to be patient because I like results. So yeah, we're gonna keep going at it. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna get this bird done. Oh yeah. So I think I came up with a decent plan. I haven't done this. I'm just using what I think is common sense to fix this issue. So let me show you one. I put the timing set back on knowing it's incorrect. Because this pin came loose, it let this spin without spinning the cam behind it. So it got out of place. At least that's my understanding. Anyway, so I put this back on, and I spun this to where my dot is back where it needs to be. Now, and I did have the bolt in it, now I'm going to remove this pulley, cog, whatever it's called, and the chain so that only the bottom will spin, because I tightened the crank, right? I used the crank to tighten it to turn this where I need it to go, because it's harder to turn now because I got everything put back together. Not like when I first put the cam in, it was easier to turn because I had no lifters and rods and everything. So I'm using this to give me leverage to turn it. So now I'm going to pull this off. Now I'm going to tighten just the crank, till my dot lines up there. Then I'm going to pull them both back off, and then I'm going to put the chain and everything back on. I think that'll get me the result I need. I think that's the only way you can do it. So here we go. I did find out this just wasn't pushed in enough, which let it come loose. So that's the problem I had before. You got to make sure, the issue I was having, and you're not going to be able to see it, but there's a little lip that this goes back into the block, and you need that lip to be seated all the way in there, or it's just going to come loose, which is what happened to me. I think I just didn't want to reef on it or something. I don't know. But it wasn't right. So that's where my issue came from. Lesson learned. As I was cranking this, that the cam is moving now. I think I did it with a little bit of patience. That's all I needed. My pen is sticking through. I know the pen is bottomed out. The only thing is, do I want to put a bigger washer to make sure that pen can't come out? And I think I do. I'm going to look for one. And I checked up here. That's tight. That's where it's supposed to be. It's not lined up right now, but that's only because I've been spinning the engine a few times, making sure can you see the cam gear down there? A little spinny one. Making sure that's turning, which it is. Making sure everything's turning the way it should be. And I think I'm good. Watching everything spin and then the cam spinning makes me feel so much better. So I think I just need to pull that bolt back off, this one, put a bigger washer on it so it holds that pin from ever sliding out. And I think I'll be good. I'm feeling good now, guys. Feeling a lot better. That was really frustrating. Like really frustrating. But now I'm kind of recharged, which is nice. I gotta clean all this gasket stuff off. Put it back on. So I got it back on. I pulled it one more time off so I could put that bigger washer. So now there's no way that pin could ever come out. No way. Because number one, I got a lock washer. Number two, the borderline over tightened it. I think I'm good. This is nice and snug where it's supposed to be. And this is where it's supposed to be. Feeling pretty good about this. Good enough that I think it's time to cover it up. Lesson, guys, don't be like me and get frustrated and want to set the car on fire. Not really, but don't get frustrated. Be patient, think it through. That should be the lesson. My camera went fuzzy. That should be the lesson. Be patient, think it through. That's what just worked for me. So I'm good now. Now I can clean this back up, put all my stuff back together, take a little life lesson, and keep moving forward. Alright guys, so I am so thankful I called my buddy Sam because he gave me the tip of line these back up when you're all ready to cover it up. You guys can see that thing ain't going nowhere. And so now that that is lined up, these two dots, that's top dead center. So now I'm going to stab the distributor in and point it at the number one. The mistake I made before, this cap needs to be pointed to number one, which I'm going to double check, but I believe it's that one or that one. I got to double check. When you drop it in, that should be pointing to the number one cylinder, right? Because this is the first one to fire. So you want it to be lined up to where it's going to fire on number one. Make sense? Totally makes sense. I don't know why I didn't get that before. Whatever. Live and learn. So we're dot to dot. Everything should be good. I'm not seeing any oh no's. So I am going to put the distributor in now. I'm feeling even better now because since I know that's top dead center, I've got my distributor pointed at number 1. I had to kind of start it a little farther back, but now you can see if I turn this, that's how you adjust retard and advance. I know this is like common sense to most mechanics, but to me, I'm learning, so if it's hilarious to you, I can't blame you, but again, I'm learning, so got it set. I think I'm good. I'm gonna put this back in. Now, when I looked at the timing online, showed the number 1 right past this clip. That's why I pointed this right past the clip. So now I can start putting these. My distributor stabbed in. I think it's right at top dead center. This is still hasn't moved yet. It will when I go to pull this crank bolt out so I can put the cover on. I don't care now because now I have now I've got it right where it needs to be, and this can turn all at once now. It's now everything's set, so it can move and go as much as it needs to, but now I should be good, which is a very good feeling. Now I just need to put stuff back together. Cannot tell you how happy that makes me feel. A little bit of grunt work because now I got to scrape all this stuff off and re-glue it and all that stuff, but guys, it's a really good feeling right now. Alright, so I got my gasket space cleaned up and painted the touch-up paint. So now I can put my timing chain cover back on. I'm using trim adhesive and I glue it basically to the one side of the bracket, and then I'm going to use the black gasket maker and push it on. This I just replaced, so I'm not going to replace that again. I replaced it like a week ago, so yeah, I think I'm pretty close to just putting this back together. Alright guys, I got the timing chain cover back on. Making progress. I got it jacked up a little higher right now so I can have to be banked completely over. The back's starting to hurt. Perks of growing pains, I guess you could call it. And show people this just in case you have a 390 and you don't. I almost made this mistake. This tapered edge, it goes in first, and there's a key right there. So for some reason you forget, that's how it's supposed to go. I got my fuel pump on. Okay, that was a workout, but I got the pulley back on, and I used this bar. I was just going to show you guys in between. Ghost has super heavy duty bumpers, and the flywheel or pulley. You see how much effort it took me to get that out, and I kicked that pretty hard. So anyway, that's how I got it to tighten, because as you're tightening it, it wants to kind of keep turning. So we got all of our hard stuff back on. So now water pump, fans, radiator, overflow, on and on and on. Actually, that's about it. We're not that far away. Pump on, my fan on. The last time I went to start it, I noticed this pulley was loose. And it certainly is, so I got to tighten that. And it's not easy to tighten the way this is, so I'll have to figure out how to do that. Onward and forward. Did a little touch-up paint really quick down here because kind of jacked with it. Yeah, that didn't feel great, but anyway, whatever. So, try not to use profanity because this pulley that was loose completely came off of my brand new water pump that I got on eBay, which will be like impossible to return, so that option's probably out. I have no way to really fix this, so essentially I have to order a new water pump. I was gung-ho to start this thing today. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that now. water pump's useless without a pulley because it has to turn that shaft to, you know, make the pump work. Not happy. Alright guys, that was a lot of negative at the end of the video, but I'll tell you what, Ghost is back together and she's running and she sounds amazing. She sounds like a beast. So stay tuned next week for the riveting conclusion of Ghost getting put back together. It's a good one. It's probably going to be the best one because it sounds amazing. And I just didn't want to just throw it into the end of this one. It's got to be its own separate episode. So stay tuned, guys. It's been well worth the wait.